Hello there, welcome to Nerd.World History. In today's episode we're looking at dispelling a bit of a myth that I've heard before, and to be honest the dude was crazy, so I actually thought it might have been true, but I looked into it and it's not, and I thought I'd dispel this sort of probably lesser known myth about Adolf Hitler's pet alligator. Before we get started, if you like this video or anything else on the channel, please like, share and subscribe and comment down below. And as well, I have two other channels that are linked down below that are nothing like this one, but are about pop culture, science fiction, fantasy, horror and different multiverses and franchises. If that sounds like something to be interested in, the links are down below, please check them out. And with that said, let's get talking about Saturn. Saturn was an American alligator. Hatched in 1936, he was captured and transported over to Germany, where he became a resident of the Berlin Zoological Garden, which was very regrettably destroyed during the Second World War. He grew to between 2 and 3.5 meters in length and weighed something in the region of 440 pounds. He was a very big boy. As I said, regrettably, during the Second World War, the zoo was bombed by the Allies, with many of its 16,000 animals being killed, with only a handful surviving. When the area in the zoo which contained the alligators and the crocodiles was destroyed, approximately 30 of the animals were killed, with residents near to the area reporting dead alligators and crocodiles in the streets, but that some were still alive and moving about, searching for food. It was not until 1946 that British soldiers occupying Berlin happened upon Saturn. Exactly what he'd been doing for 3 years, who knows? Eating the other dead crocodiles, gobbling up a few Nazis, we can hope, fighting for the war effort. The British handed him over to the Russians, who then put him into a Russian zoo, where he remained for the rest of his life, dying in the year 2020. Yet another tragedy of that year. The reason people think that Saturn was Hitler's pet alligators, Hitler happened to really like visiting the zoo. He liked animals, I suspect, more than people. He had dogs and other creatures. Now, it was hypothesized by a Russian writer that actually many of the creatures kept in the zoo were a menagerie of animals that technically actually belonged to Adolf Hitler, but having nowhere else to keep them, he kept them in the zoo. It's a complete myth, unfortunately. Adolf Hitler did not have a pet alligator. As much as you can believe a crazed lunatic like Hitler would keep an alligator, especially a 3.5 meter, 400 pound alligator, he unfortunately didn't. Because he never got eaten by it, which again is one of those great missed opportunities of history. It starts because he often visited the zoo and would visit the alligators and other creatures, and he happened to particularly like Saturn. But it wasn't his alligator in any other way than he lived in Germany and he visited the zoo like any other patron, and it probably got singled out because he happened to like it. And there we have it, the life of Saturn, the very lucky alligator that was not the pet of Adolf Hitler, because what animal would have wanted to be the pet of Adolf Hitler? Sorry if anyone believed that it was true. I mean, you never know. Maybe history's got it wrong. Maybe they really were his personal menagerie. But there's no evidence that it was. It was just something wrote down by a Russian author that got picked up and people kind of ran with it because it was an easy thing to believe. Someone tells you something insane about Adolf Hitler, it's pretty easy to believe it. But as I said, there we go. Adolf Hitler's alligator Saturn. A Mississippi-born American alligator that survived the bombing of its zoo and ended up living out the rest of its days comfortably in a Russian zoo. But not Hitler's pet. If you liked that video, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Check out my other channels, and bye-bye.